To day 8 on making money from high ticket sales. Now it's been over a week, so that's good, right? We're still going. A bit of a breakdown on the tonality, which I spoke about from day 7. So the half of the day, by the way, I worked about like 5 hours today because the almost half of the day I spent just practicing on my tonality, Jeremy Minor, and it was so funny because I realized so much today, right? When I first started my day, I practiced Jeremy Minor like crazy, right? I was practicing, you know how Jeremy Minor leans in and he's very calm 90% of the time? I tried implementing that. I tried on many calls and it didn't work out, right? Because it usually came down to acting. I started acting like Jeremy Minor and I wasn't being myself. So I was like, oh, and why do you think that's been affecting you for the past XYZ, right? Like I was acting like him, right? Like I wasn't myself and it was so hard acting and actually being in the conversation at the same time. So I tried that many times. The calls obviously got fumbled. Like I literally fumbled very good leads that had money and they had intention to buy and I messed them up. So I was like, I went back. I was like, okay, something's wrong. We got to fix this. And I learned this from my mentor as well. And many people, you sometimes you can't just keep going and keep like dialing. Sometimes you need to go back and you need to be like, okay, what is the problem here? Like we got to figure out what's going on, right? So I analyzed. I did tons of analyzing. I was literally talking to myself to the wall. Like I was literally talking to myself, right? I was trying to figure out okay, pause. I was trying to figure out what was the problem, right? I tried Kendo AI. I tried Kendo AI is like an AI sales rep you kind of practice with. I tried Mox today, and I was trying all these different things. I tried like over exaggerating my facial expressions. I tried using my hand movements a lot, right? And I realized you need a balance. You need to not be yourself fully, but you also need to kind of be yourself, right? Like you can't be yourself fully because if you start being like yourself fully, then that's where the mistakes happen, right? Like let's say you're more of a moody person, like more you don't have a strong tone, you're just like, "Hey, how are you doing?" blah blah blah. That was my problem for my last calls. That's when it's a problem, right? Cuz that is kind of me, but that was the problem, right? But there's also the side where I need to act like myself where if I start putting on an act, then it doesn't feel real. It feels very scripted, right? Very scripted. So, um, hmm, since it was very scripted, right? I was like, okay, we got to figure out this balance, and I realized the balance for me personally was being a bit jokey, being like, instead of being like, oh, hey, I saw you potentially wanted to fill out an application for starting XYZ business. And there was also the old me, which was like, hey man, I saw you filled out an application for XYZ business, right? There's both of these. And I was like, okay, I need the authority frame and a bit chill, but I also don't want to go super deep into it. I kind of combined it and I added a bit of energy into it. And this is how it is. Now it's like, hey James, hey man, this is Bilal from XYZ business. I saw you fill out an application with us. It was for XYZ. I just want to give you a quick call, blah, 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 some shit like that, right? It's like there's energy where I'm like, hey man, that's not a problem. Like I started adding jokes, for example, right? Because I'm a very like, okay, I'm not actually funny, but like jokey, right? Like I'm goofy, right? My one of my mentors called me that, but like he told me to use that, I remember, and I never actually listened to it, but I started using it. I was like, hey, I totally get you, like that's obviously not a problem, right? Like I started acting like this is like actually who I am, right? So I was able to combine everything, and when you find that balance where you're not yourself, but you're also not acting, the acting and yourself, when you bring them here, it's just perfect, right? Because you're acting a bit, but you're also yourself. Again, people say you should fully be yourself, but that's not true because if you're fully yourself, then you show your flaws as well. You don't want to show your flaws as much. Um, so it was like a mix, right? This is kind of what worked for me, and the calls obviously improved a lot. I got only like 2 bookings today. That's because I didn't dial as much today, but tomorrow I'm ready. The counter's now opened up. The new closer is on. We made our systems even better now, and good leads are actually starting to come in. So, and now I'm actually doing better. So I know my calls are gonna show up. I just need to improve. well, I have I need to improve it even more, but it's much better now, right? And honestly, the person I'm working for, like, I really like this guy because we even did a call review just to make sure everything was good. And like it was good, man. I by the way, I didn't even think it was good. Honestly, he said it was good. Before the call, most of the day, I felt like shit today. I felt like extremely shit. I was like, I should give up. I shouldn't do this. After like all this time, I've been doing this for since January 2024, right? I did DM setting for 1 year, and now it's been like 2 months or so, like close to 2 months and a half of phone setting, and now I got even better at this. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait to, for the next 1 to 2 months, just practice as a closer, but also do this. And I genuinely believe I will make a good amount of money with this. And even if I don't, it's fine because this person I'm working under genuinely wants to make me better, and I'm the only setter. So he's gonna put more focus on me, like he already has. And yeah, I'm ready to crush it. And that's the thing to everyone. If you're watching this, tonality is so huge. It doesn't matter what you ask because with my calls, I was asking the right questions. I was diving into the right things. I was just asking them with zero emotion. You can't just ask and be like, okay, it makes sense. And like, why now is like getting financial freedom important to you specifically now? Like, just to see how it can help. Like, there's no emotion. Like, you don't give a shit. But like, if you add like, oh, it makes sense. And like, I just want to understand because you obviously talked about this. Why now is, getting to the financial freedom, making 5 to 10K a month and gaining XYZ business model? I guess why is that important to you now specifically? Just to see how we can actually help you out. Like there's more emotion. Like you actually give a shit, right? And that also comes down to listening and being a bit yourself, but again, not too much yourself because then your flaws get to show. But it's kind of a mix. I don't know. It's a balance. It's how Thanos says, like everything in the universe is balanced. That's when it's perfect. Anyways, that's kind of what it is. Tonality is so huge. If you don't master the skill, and it's very important. And Jeremy Minor helped a lot, right? Again, like if you're watching this and you're watching Jeremy Minor and like you're trying to replicate it, don't replicate him. Get his advice, but don't do exactly what he's doing because that's his tonality and you will not be able to copy that. You can't copy, and I learned this the past 2 to 3 days. I can't copy my mentor's tonality, which is like being jerky, cocky, but like it's good the way he does it because like again, if you listen to day 7, I was saying like how my mentor can like shit talk people on a call, but it will still work because like that's his tonality, right? That he's been doing that for 6, 7 years. My other mentor, who's like very strict and like authority frame, that works with him because he's been doing that for so long, and that is his tonality. It just works with him, right? There's Andy Elliott. Andy Elliott's like, "Are you a leader? Show me your six pack." You're not a leader? Okay, get the fuck out of the room. Like, that's Andy Elliott, right? You're not going to do that, obviously. 90% of people can't do that, right? Unless you take steroids, you're bald, you have a transgender wife, and, you're steroids. Jeremy Minor. Like, Jeremy Minor is a psychologist. He's been talking to people for so long, and he's so good at controlling his vocals, his facial thing. He literally trained like his physical body parts, right? Like his face, his vocals, like he physically trained it, right? Like he did exercises and stuff. There's another Asian guy like from Australia that teaches tonality and like how to speak very well as well. So all these people you see online do not do exactly what they're doing. It will not work because it will work at the beginning, but it won't work later on down the line because it will be acting. You will literally start acting. And acting is very fucking hard. I learned this from my mentor. Acting is one of the hardest things ever because you're putting so much energy. Imagine you have a hundred battery bar, right? 60-70% of that is going to acting. The other 30 needs for listening, actually asking the right questions, giving a shit, right? Diving to the right things. That's 30%. That's nothing. Like 70% is going into acting because you're trying to, be another person. So it just doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. Take small things from them, from multiple people. It's like I'm creating a gym schedule. Like how I got into the gym and like now I know what I'm doing in the gym after like I've been working out for like very long time. If you can't tell, I'm just kidding. But if you grab what I did for the gym, I grabbed from multiple different people what worked. I didn't copy one person exactly. I just grabbed what worked from everyone and I made my own thing, and now that works for me. So you need to learn how to grab what you need, implement it, and use that one part. It's like a puzzle piece. Like you grab puzzles and then your character is made, right? It's like genetics. You don't have the same exact genetics as your father. You're a mix, right? Your father's a mix, your grandfather's a mix, or your mom's side is a mix, right? These are all mixed, which makes something new. So you need to find that tonality where it's a mixture of others and it's a mixture of yourselves. And then combining that makes your balance. So this is kind of what I learned, and just understanding this concept helped a lot. Tonality is so huge.